All right, let's move on. Let's talk about European pedigree now, guys.
Okay.
Who has better European pedigree, Tottenham or Arsenal?
What's Spurs' European pedigree? Just that, as out of curiosity, because
We've won 2 Europa Leagues. We've got to a Champions League final more recently than you lot.
Cup Winners' Cup.
A Cup Winners' Cup is useless.
is that because we've won it? That's what you're saying.
A Cup Winners' Cup it's not even a trophy anymore. It's
Still won it.
Like,
How many do you have?
well, if you want to count Cup Winners' Cup, we've got 3. How many have you
Like,
got?
I don't know that much about your European pedigree, but what you've just said there hasn't made me gone, wow.
It's not about
Crazy.
wow.
Correct, and you're worse than that.
Yeah, it probably is worse than that, right? But I mean, it depends. Have Spurs got a better record in the second tier of European football? Probably, but you've probably been in there more than Arsenal
And the
as well.
first.
You've probably been in the Europa League a lot more times than
Tell
Arsenal.
me this: Spurs and Arsenal have been in the Champions League final the same amount of times, right?
Yeah.
1. Arsenal have been in the Champions League like what 25 years under Wenger and all this kind of stuff. Tell me why? How is it even possible that you've only made it past the quarterfinals twice in your whole history?
No, the reality was the coach wasn't a Champions League level coach. He's a Champions League level coach in terms of the league wise.
Who,
in terms
Wenger?
of Wenger was a coach that never suited the Champions League. Some coaches don't.
People talk about Wenger as like one of the best
No,
managers of all
he
time.
is, but some coaches don't suit certain competitions. You know, he's not a knockout manager. He's not a league season. And also, Wenger for most of his years after the post 2005 was pretty handicapped. We talk about how much Arsenal spend under Arsene Wenger. It was like £16 million in terms of net, right? So he wasn't given the same funds as Pep's given now or Klopp's given now either. But in terms of the Champions League, he's not a pragmatic coach.
Champions
League suits Tuchel, maybe, or Unai or someone like that who's more pragmatic. The reason why it took Pep so many years at City to win a Champions League, because they're the greatest team we've seen in a while. But then you see them right now, they took them 7 years to win the Champions League. So certain managers aren't suited, and Wenger never had the funds either. But yeah, in terms of European pedigree, in the second tier, yeah, probably Spurs have better, but you probably had more experience than that. I don't think.
Just Europe as a whole doesn't have to be.
Probably, yeah, fair enough. But also, then I don't really care as much about the past, but I look into the future, and I go, you might not make the Champions League this season, right? When's the next time you expect to even be in that competition? Maybe next year. Also, this year made to the quarterfinals.
Well, either going to be the next year or the year after.
One second.
Easy.
Are we going to sit here and talk about European pedigree in this situation? Because then are we going to also say Nottingham Forest have more European pedigree than both of us? Aston Villa have more than both of us. So I don't really see the relevance.
But
more next season when we're in the Champions League, teams are going to fear us more than you.
That's the truth. That's right. Pedigree matters. That's the way it
but
matters.
also.
No, but that's what
history in the Champions League
Pedigree's for that fear factor.
When it comes to
you pull up against AC Milan, you fear them because they're Champions League pedigree.
Yeah.
When you play with Liverpool, that's pedigree there. If you're going to tell me about Spurs' European pedigree, if you get
compared to Arsenal, I'm not saying Spurs' European pedigree is unbelievable. I'm saying compared to Arsenal, it's better.
You've got factually more European trophies than Arsenal. I'm not going to deny that, right? But pedigree doesn't really matter too much if we both get drawn to the Champions League next year. If you're even there. And we both play Bayern. Who are they going to fear more?
It's just mad to me, though, how many years you were in the Champions League and you've only.
You want to know something? That is our Achilles heel. And if we had a Champions League, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But the reality situation is that is irrelevant to this conversation because I feel like neither of us have that Champions League. And if Arsenal or Spurs were rocking up to the Allianz Arena, they would fear Arsenal more than you guys.
But like the way the narrative coming out of the Arsenal fan base is like, oh, we're so much more of a bigger club than you. We've done this.
Domestically,
we've done this, we've done
domestically,
that.
we are.
And you've never won a trophy in
domestically.
You've been past the quarterfinals twice in your history. Like, come on,
one second. You guys want to have a European conversation? Let's talk domestic. How many league titles do you have?
The question is about European.
No, because you pick the side of the argument that suits you. If we look at it from the other side of the things, honestly, how many league titles do you guys have?
2.
So when you think about it from that perspective, you have the same amount of league titles as Huddersfield.
Is that how many they got?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
So it's like, how are we having the same conversation as club sides?
I think it's.
And you have the same European titles as Accrington Stanley.
It's a relevant conversation to have, as I said, because if your pedigree doesn't matter anything going into the future, no one really cares. If you're Chelsea, maybe cool because you've got quite a few European cups and people go, okay, we've seen them do it before. You guys haven't done it like we haven't.
I'm looking at
you've got more domestic pedigree. We got more European pedigree.
No, but
how about How about you guys keep your 2 Europa Leagues and we'll keep our 14?
We'll keep the European pedigree.
13 league titles, 14 FA. We'll keep that. You know.
We'll keep the European pedigree.
Soon to be 14. I heard you. Soon to be 14.
It's coming soon, but let's not swap. You know. I don't think.
When's that 14?
I don't think. Maybe.
When's it coming? No. When's it coming?
After the Man United game.
Can't say it with chest. It's coming this season.
No, after the Man United game this season, hopefully.
You know, me saying chest or no chest doesn't affect my team. So I can say we win the league title, we might not. But if the team does it,
are you winning the league title this year? Yes or no?
I hope so.
I believe we can.
Will you? I know you believe you can, but will you?
Are you getting top 4?
I'm very hopeful.
Are you getting top 4?
Are we getting? No, we're not.
Okay.
Why not? Why not?
I don't think we are.
Really?
Yeah.
You believe Aston Villa took it from you guys? It's done.
100%.
But they're still in Europe, so they could.
Sim's got more hope than me than top 4, but I don't think we're getting it this year.
Come on, man. Give me the Spurs atmosphere.
Wait. Who do you guys play? Who do you guys?
Every Gunners are running.
You guys still play Man United?
Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea away, Burnley and Sheffield.
Oh, wow. That's a minefield.
We are unbeaten against the top 3 this season.
Huh?
What?
We're unbeaten against the top 3 this season.
Sorry.
You're
Man
unbeaten
U,
against the top 3.
No, it's not Man U. Who's below us?
Newcastle.
Is it Newcastle? Yeah, 10 points.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about Newcastle.
Huh? They're not playing against you guys, isn't it?
We haven't lost this
and
season.
And Aston Villa playing against you guys.
So were you guys cheering for the other teams in England to do well in the Champions League?
I'm cheering for Arsenal, trust me.
I will say one thing, right? You talk about you haven't lost against top 3, and that might still work in our favour.
Yeah.
Because you still got to play.
It won't work in our favour if we play against you.
It's embarrassing. Eric Dyer shutting you lot out.
Hey, he's not doing it for your club. I don't know why you're bragging about it.
Harry Kane and Eric Dyer.
Do you reckon you guys will beat them in the Champions League next year?
Who?
Bayern.
We're not going to be in the Champions League next year. You lot have been in the Champions League 1 in 7 years and you're hyping up.
Yeah, but so next year, who do you reckon you get in the group stages?
Well, there's no group stages.
No, in the Europa League. I mean, sorry, not Champions League.
You know the format. You don't even know the format of the Champions League. You've been out of it for so long.
It's going to be a league.
Like, your tables, isn't it? So you're going to get your table. You're going to be like a.
We'll be in a competition that we can actually win. You're going to bottle it in the quarterfinals once again.
It's better to be the Europa League because you know you're more of a second team.
I actually think from where we are as a football club, it might be better for us winning the Europa
League. You guys couldn't even win the conference league.
That's true.
COVID shut us out that one.
Do you reckon you win a trophy, a European trophy before Arsenal do?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's that going to be?
It could be Europa League.
Will it be Champions League?
Might be.
Arsenal ain't ever going to win a Champions League. Your European pedigree, you know, it's not even existent.
Guys,
it's
clip this up, please.
Arsenal will never win a Champions League.